Welcome back to Shore Sports Talk on 94.3 The Point. I am Vin Ebenau here with District 18 Little League Administrator Frank Trankel and former Major League Baseball All-Star Todd Frazier as we recap the Little League baseball season here at Toms of Reese Little League and across District 18, look ahead to the tournaments to come, and really just talk some old-fashioned baseball. So, Todd, Frank, thanks for coming on the show.
Well, thanks for having us.
Thank you, man.
So, another Little League season in the books, playoffs done, now we're into district mode and everything. Todd, I'll start with you. What were some things that you took away from the Little League season this year? I know Blake and Grant were playing. What were some things that stood out to you?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me was I'm like a full-time coach now. So I do T-ball. I did 9, 10, and 11-year-old baseball at Toms of Reese Little League, and I have a travel ball team as well. But I'm excited. So my son Grant is playing for the 9-year-old All-Stars, which I'm managing for the second year now. And seeing my 4-year-old Grant come a long way away from swinging. So exciting times. I know Frank is excited. This is his time of year to see if somebody in the Shore Conference area can take off and go to Williamsport. We always have a chance to do it no matter what team goes in there. We got a bunch of kids that love the game of baseball and that work their butt off, man. And we got a lot of great coaches out there, which people don't understand, too. A lot of dads taking their time to, hone some skills to these young men and women to, have a good time, but ultimately go out there and try and win. So it's going to be an exciting year.
It absolutely is going to be an exciting year. We got 85-plus games coming up, starting, and I'm looking forward to running into Todd and all the other Fraziers out there. It's because Todd's now the dad, so he's good to see him on the field as a regular old guy now, just coaching.
No doubt about it.
Frank, what was the season like, the playoffs like, and to Todd's point, a lot of success in recent years coming out of District 18, going on to big things, regionals, states, baseball, softball last year. So how did this season go down in District 18? What are you looking forward to with district tournaments?
Well, I'm looking forward to us being, one of those perennial teams out there again. We got, like Todd said, we got a lot of baseball players in this area. And, it was a good season. It was basically the first, I would say, real season post-COVID, with no restrictions. So it was good to see parents and kids out there. I was surprised it was actually as fun as I thought it would be.
Okay.
I thought there would be more, things happening because everybody being in the house for the past couple of years. But I didn't really get many issues and problems to come to my desk this year, so that helped.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that made it a lot easier.
And a pretty successful home run derby that just happened recently, too.
Yes, we just had our fourth annual home run derby this past Saturday, and this year we opened it up to the girls for softball, and both the boy and the girl that won had tremendous showing, I should say, and did really well. So we're submitted their scores, and hopefully they make it to the regionals.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
See more success coming out of District 18. Todd, what are some of the things that you like to tell your players on either team about just enjoying the season, trying to get better in the box, out in the field?
Yeah, for me, I always tell my young kids, set a goal. And I think as a younger kid, it's hard to understand about setting goals because all you want to do is go out there, have fun, strike guys out, and hit the ball as far as you can. But if you have a team that can come together, set goals, and understand, what their job is to do, even at a young age, that's going to set the bar and make your team better. And I think that's one of the differences with District 18. One, they have something to look forward to because a lot of teams have been, especially Toms River, have been to Bristol at least and made it and won New Jersey. Because I always tell people the hardest thing that it was for us was to get out of New Jersey because there's so many good teams. But set your goals, understand what job you have. If you're a leadoff guy, be the leadoff guy. Find a way to get on no matter what kind of situation it is. And if you're that 3-4 guy, drive the guy in. So I'm trying to be professional, but at the same time make sure they have fun because it's not a job. I want them to enjoy the moment and understand, that they can do just like what I did in '98.
And to that point, Todd, what are some of the things that, success, and certainly you had a lot of fun playing at Trell growing up as well, but some of the things that you enjoyed, when you were young, when you were a kid playing Little League baseball and everything, what are some of the things that you enjoyed, some of the things that you learned back then about how to do that you want to pass on to your boys and to your ball players?
Yeah, I think for me, I had two older brothers, so whatever they did, I tried doing. I wanted to be just as good as them, if not better. So whatever mark they made after their season, I said, I'm going to try and beat that by 5 or 10 home runs or strikeouts, and usually I did. So I was lucky enough to have two older brothers that set the bar really high and helped me out along the way. But, I teach fun. I teach energy. I teach positivity. But I tell the parents all the time, listen, I'm going to be constructive with these kids too. I'm going to treat them how I treat my son. And if there's a problem, come to me because, I want to make sure everybody's having fun. But these are young adults, and most of the kids here, they can handle it, and they're strong enough. So it's enjoyable for me to coach, and it's enjoyable for me that I played there because I had strong parents and dads and even moms that come to me and make sure, if I wasn't doing something right, they would be on me like white on rice,
That's fair. Question for both of you here. We'll start with you, Todd, with, playoffs over, getting into districts and then sectionals and states and everything. What is the playoff experience like, that experience going through playing an entire summer of Little League Baseball with the pressure of trying to win games to advance while also trying to have fun as an individual ball player and as a teammate, and then certainly watching, from what you're doing now as a coach, with watching these teams take the field?
Yeah, and I'm going to backtrack on you a little bit. I think one of the toughest part is picking the team, which a lot of people don't understand. There's probably 4 or 5 guys that probably could be on both Tom Driver teams right now where we're from that, could be. So that's why we have MIT too as well for those kids as well to play All-Stars. So there's a lot of really good athletes here. And I think the first step is for these kids to know that, you got a good opportunity here. There's a legacy that we have here. Are we going to win it all every year? No. But I want them to make sure they're focused. I want to make sure they're determined. And you're playing with your buddies. So piggyback off one another. No, you don't have to be the one that hits the home run all the time. But ultimately go out there and have fun. And no, this is pretty cool. This is going to be the best summer of your life if you focus as much as possible and enjoy the moment.
Frank, what's it like for you?
Well, for me, it's a little bit different because, I'm the district administrator. My job is to basically make sure the kids have fun more than the part of the winning. So when I follow the teams or show up, I try to keep the kids loose and happy and, get them trading pins and doing some other things to kind of get them off the stressful moments of the baseball side of it. But, we do have, a lot of success here over the years. So there is a little pressure on these kids. So I try to just lighten it up for them a little bit,
One of the things I like, guys, what ESPN does every summer is they point out, who your favorite ball player is. And then, they point out telling these stories about how many Little Leaguers or Little Leaguers who won championships like you, Todd, have gone on to become Major League ball players. What's that like in kids coming up to you or asking, playing Little League and going to the majors, do I have a chance? What do I have to do to become a better ball player? And to allow these young kids to dream big and say that maybe it is possible for them one day.
Yeah, the first thing I tell them is about failure. You're going to fail more than you succeed. And if you can handle that, I think that's going to make you a better, not only athlete, but a better person because you're going to fail in life as well. If you can accept failure in baseball but never expect failure, that's my big saying. You're going to be 10 times better. If you're a good athlete, that's going to make you a great athlete. No, those 0 for 4 days aren't going to kill you, but yeah, it's frustrating when you're younger because every at-bat you're going to take serious like it's your last at-bat, and, you want to do just as good as the next guy next to you. But understand, failure is a part of life. Failure is a part of baseball. Make sure that next guy picks you up, cheer them on, and have a good time.
Yeah, it's good to hear him talk about that because a lot of people don't stress that as much anymore about the failure. And failure does make you a better person because you can learn and grow from it.
Right.
So it's nice to hear that. Yeah.
You look at baseball sort of as a game of failure, right? You go 3 for 10, you're hitting 300. That's considered good, but you've gotten out in 7 at-bats over the course of that 10 at-bats. So I guess finding ways to learn and to grow in the game and just enjoy it at the same time.
Yeah, it was nice to just find out that Blake is 4. That means I got Todd for like the next 10 years. So I thought it was.
I'm around, baby. I'm not going anywhere.
I just thought it was, Grant is 4, not Blake, but I thought it was going to be Blake. But now oh my God, I got Todd for a while now. Okay. It's all good. It's all
you're
good.
Not gonna like me.
No, I've always liked you. You've been great, so you've been great.
In for the long haul coaching, Todd, at Little League?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
You're in for the long haul coaching Little League?
Yeah, I'm in for the long haul. My son Grant's 4, so I got at least another 8 or 9 years going. So hopefully he's good enough to where he makes the All-Stars and we make another run at it. Hey, listen, I'm one of those guys in T-ball. I'm looking for the next All-Star team. So I'm asking the other coaches to say, hey, listen, this kid over here, he can catch the ball well. How's he hitting? That's how I am. That's how I was born. So I always look ahead to see maybe we might have a couple stars in the making coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah, I know you got Blake in the training program so he can get ready for the home run derby, right?
He'll be ready. Don't you worry about that next year, baby.
Todd, what are some of the common questions that you get from some of the ball players that you've coached with different things that they want to know about either playing baseball or what it's like to play in the major leagues?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like, what's your favorite field? What was the biggest home run you hit? Who's the fastest pitcher? Who's your favorite player? Like that kind of stuff. So I love when kids ask me questions because that means they love the game and want to know more and have something to dream, like I said earlier. So any questions from kids are never bad questions. So it's a lot of fun hearing all that stuff.
We'll talk a little Yankees here because I know we're all Yankee fans, and Todd, I know you work for the Yes Network and everything as well. Starting with you, what are your thoughts on the way the Yankees have played so far this season with all the injuries and quite a dominant bullpen too?
Yeah, and you said it best. Their bullpen is best in the league. Their 2.76 ERA is best in the league so far. I mean, you can't say much more about them. It's just injuries right now has been hurting them. With Judge down, Donaldson was down, Stanton was down. They can't seem to get everybody to play together yet. But I always said this: the first 2 months, if they play around 500, they're going to be just fine. They were actually 9 or 10 games over 500, and now they got to find a way to do the same thing for the next month until Judge comes back. I mean, the biggest thing for me, you think one guy can make a difference, but he absolutely does. So with the captain, Aaron Judge, when he comes back, they're going to be just as good. So they don't have to put all the load, all the work on Rizzo and Stanton. But if that bottom of the lineup comes through with kind of Falefa, Trevino, just to name a couple guys, and Volpe needs to get going a little bit more, I think they'll be just fine.
Yeah, IKF's been a huge step.
Yeah.
I mean, playing center field and stuff now, so
stealing home.
He kind of lost his position in a way, and he stole home the other nights, but he's been playing great in center field.
No doubt.
Do you think that in it's such a competitive AL East that the Yankees continue to play well, they get healthy, that by the second half they'll be able to find a way to go after that division crown and at least find their way into the playoffs somehow?
Oh, I most definitely think they'll make the playoffs. The Rays, I mean, nobody ever saw this coming the way they've been playing. But they're a really good team. They say it just seems like anybody they pick up turns into basically they mold them into a Tampa Bay Ray, and they just do well. So it's going to be a tough time getting to the AL East to be number one. I still think they can do it. But when everybody's healthy after about a couple weeks, then we can start talking more and seeing where they're going to be. But I think both New York teams are going to make the playoffs.
There we go. It should be a fun and exciting summer. Last question for you both. Todd, I'll start with you. I know we've talked a lot about Little League Baseball, including Little League Baseball this summer, and hopefully the boys do well and they run the gauntlet here into Williamsport and everything. But what are some of the things you're looking forward to this summer?
Well, I'm going to do 16 games at the Little League World Series for ESPN, so that's definitely something I'm looking forward to. Being a broadcaster and an analyst, this will be my second year now doing it. Hopefully this is something I can look forward to for a long time, so that's a good sign. But I'm looking forward to seeing if Tom Driver can make a run here again. I know Tom Driver has a couple guys back from last year that almost won a regional to make it to Williamsport. But always rooting for our Tom Driver team, especially Tom Driver East, and we'll see what happens. If they don't, I'm always rooting for that New Jersey team, especially in the short conference.
Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of good teams out there. We always, and Todd, you know this over the years, Jackson and Holbrook, and even even Brick and stuff. There's some really good teams out there. Barnegat, Beechwood, Berkeley, all my leagues have really good teams. But he makes a good point on a lot of the boys are back from the Toms River teams last year that went to the States. It's nice to see the junior team back that went to the most of the players that went to the Little League World Series in COVID 2021. So they're making a run for the Junior World Series out in Michigan. So we'll see what happens. I'm just looking forward to honestly sitting back with a nice cold drink at the field, iced tea or something, and just watching some baseball.
There we go. Should be a fun and exciting summer. Little League Baseball, Yankee Baseball, we got it all covered. Todd, have a lot of fun this summer, and best of luck to Grant and Blake and the rest of your team.
All right, thanks, guys. Nice talking to you.
See you soon, Todd.
That is former Major League Baseball All-Star Todd Frazier and District 18 Little League Administrator Frank Trankel. More Shore Sports Talk here on 94.3 The Point, sponsored by Shoreline Wealth Management right after this.
Whether you're in the early stages of investing, getting ready to retire, or planning your estate, you need a financial planner who will guide you on a clear path with honesty and transparency. Shoreline Wealth Management understands that you're more than your money, and they strive to help you realize your best life as they align your finances with your goals. Best of all, Shoreline's straightforward approach will include you in the process. Shoreline Wealth Management is your financial anchor, committed to helping you weather life's storms. Visit ShorelineWealth.com for more information today. ShorelineWealth.com. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC.